Ponder this. Are colleges places that are equipping young men and women to stand strong in adversity, to discern truth and justice, and to give more than they receive? Or are they places where adulting places to yell, scream, and harm things that you disagree with and just complain and talk about your entitlements rather than standing strong? This is Undeniable with Sergei Kelley. Here at Highlight News, the Morning Watch has reported things that weren't reported and further information and indoctrination of leftist bias at Michigan State University. We've all heard the terms adulting and emerging adult around the context of millennials. And why not just call them adults? Because sadly, at Cradling colleges, they are not. I'll go through how MSU isn't making an environment of men and women, but of boys and girls. We'll look at how kids reacted to a pro-life display that was put up earlier this week by Protect Life MSU, how the university instructs what to wear for Halloween, which virtually discredits a huge section of costumes, and a storytelling event where men and women dressed up at a drag queen event, and all these things were just this week at Michigan State University. Be sure to subscribe below to this channel and also to the Morning Watch website, themorningwatchmsu.com, to stay up to date, and don't hesitate to comment below on your thoughts on the college cradling at MSU. So earlier this week at the pro-life display, Protect Life MSU set up a Cemetery of the Innocents. This is where 927 flags were set up over along Farm Lane and Shaw Lane on the corner there, and each flag represented 1,000 lives, so 927,000 lives for the whole, that represent a whole year of abortions in America. So that's almost a million deaths. And unfortunately, on the second day of this display, students were harassed, and also the display was damaged and parts were stolen. So they were first threatened by a groundskeeper, alleging the group was littering and did not have permission. They said, well, we do have permission. They have an email. It's linked in the article on the website. And then the groundskeeper left after they said, hey, we're going to call the police. And furthermore, several students, a female, came through and started picking the flags up and saying, why are you doing this now? Why are you doing this here? And the Protect Life member there, Grant Lale, he approached them, and they just kept doing what they were doing. She eventually ran down, also took a sign. There were two large signs describing what the event was. And she took that, she took the flags, put flags in the trash can. They were able to retrieve one sign, and then just afterwards, a student on rollerblades came through, snagged a sign, and went off. They were unfortunately unable to catch them as they were on rollerblades. And a male student reportedly trampled through a bunch of flags also. And throughout the day, Protect Life members told the Morning Watch they were just getting obscenities thrown at them, people swearing from their cars, just really not nice stuff, unprofessional stuff, definitely things, childish stuff, things swearing, just being mean. And Protect Life, they said, we're just doing a display here. We're just trying to, present that there's an issue. We're being calm. We're being professional. They're being adults in this case. And whereas these kids walking by that are just shouting at them, damaging their stuff, that's childish. And also this week was the MSU putting out Halloween boards displaying on what you can and cannot wear for Halloween. And it's very interesting because they did this last year, the same thing. And now it's the whole, is your costume racially, ethnically, or culturally based? What you cannot wear. MSU says, nothing Native American, nothing Mexican, unless you're Mexican. And apparently, according to the visuals, Japanese dancers are not allowed. Japanese traditional clothing is not allowed, probably unless you're Japanese or at least look Japanese. So they went out and put these boards up. There are several of the boards, and also they said and put out a guide on how not to be racist. And so this guide includes things like, obviously, if it has a swastika, probably don't wear it. Also, it says if it involves a minority group, don't wear it. And it says right in there, if you're wearing a sombrero and you're not a minority or Mexican, then you should not wear that. So it's similar to last year. It's really, targeting, do you belong to that people? Would you wear that costume along with that group of people? And is your costume racially, ethnically, or culturally based? And they also say, is it funny or sexy? And apparently those are not allowed. And it's really, it would be limiting. There's a lot of students at Michigan State University that wear several types of things that would not fall into this, that would be against this suggestion. And so it's very, very interesting because MSU is saying, hey, you should wear this, don't wear other things. How are they going to police this? What is this really setting? It's really an attitude of, you can't make your own decision. You're just out there to offend people, offend everybody with your costume. And so we need to be your parent. And furthermore, the Morning Watch, just on a side note, just to really highlight this, we got a lot of publicity this week with those two stories. On Friday, two large radio stations, Michigan's Big Show and Big Talk, shared a pro-life story. They sent that out to thousands of listeners. And also, Campus Reform is republishing the Protect Life story also. And WILX 10 and also a conservative commentator, Chuck Woolery, who has a follower of over 600,000 on Twitter, they both shared the Halloween story that the Morning Watch originally reported. And WILX came to campus. I showed them the boards. We talked about it. There's an interview, and really just getting this out there is really fantastic because we want people to know this growth is fantastic. And myself, the staff, and contributors were really excited that there's this momentum. And please consider, if you're going to donate somewhere, donate to the Morning Watch. This will help, equip us for our growth. It's right on the website under donate. Quick 5 seconds. Now onto another child promoting, and I'd say rather child distorting event, was the drag queen event in McDonald Hall on Friday night. Contributor Grant Lara went there and he reported on it. I think this one's quite self-explanatory. You have people dressing up in makeup, hairdo, weird colors, green hair, all this stuff. And then you have talking in weird voices, and they're reading children's books to presumably college students or people from the public. And certainly this is not promoting adulthood. This is very childish. It's very unprofessional. And we will have a fantastic article coming out in the next 24 hours about this, so be sure to read up on that. And so just, closing is, where do all these events leave college students in the in-college environment? Hampered with anxiety, distraught, indoctrination, and they're not mature. Last year, when Michael Knowles came to MSU, he discussed how many of these millennials, these adulting millennials, they become privileged, spoon-fed, not disciplined, and entitled, and it's safe to say that it is not entirely their fault. They live in an environment that is absent of discipline, forced with indoctrination, irreligiousness, and they bathe in ego. There are stark ramifications for things like this that MSU is actively promoting. There is a reason why Knowles discussed how 1/3 of adults under 35 live with their parents, how raising children now is valued less, and why we need supposed government programs to just survive, and also why biblical illiteracy is rampant even among Christians. You might not like what I said, but these things perpetuated by Cradling colleges make campus a full of kids, and they're not growing into men and women who stand strong in adversity, who discern truth and justice, and who give more than they receive. Things we'd expect of an adult, things that we want our children to become. And MSU, in short, is a cradle, keeping kids and preventing adulthood. This has been Sergei Kelley with The Morning Watch. Subscribe below to The Morning Watch and also to our website. Also follow us on social media, which includes Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, to stay up to date on the latest dominant and unwelcoming culture at Michigan State University.